Hello everyone, my name is Stephanie Hackney and today we will be taking a HR functional deep dive into incorporating a compensation and benefits team for the Bank of Shangri. Currently, the Bank of Shangri has grown into a regional powerhouse with over 200 locations and nearly 3,000 employees. Through this rapid growth process, reactionary hiring practices have evolved to where quantity is valued over quality. With a lack of proper vetting for fit within the company and proper knowledge and skills, an increase in employee turnover soon started. As more experienced mid-level managers left for greater responsibilities, there was a decrease in morale and performance. At one point, managers were spending more time with their teams, which helped in reducing errors as there was greater attention to detail and better morale. With leadership and other employees leaving, there is an increase in oversight in all areas, including employment practices. Employee pay is inconsistent across similar roles, and unfair employment practices are leading to lawsuits and low morale. There are policies and guidelines to help prevent this from happening, but they were created over 5 years ago and are rarely ever followed. The executive leadership team has planned some actions to help combat issues here at the Bank of Shangri. The first plan of action is to hire an experienced Chief Human Resource Officer to lead the HR team and help better align organization strategy with HR processes. In addition, the ELT has added 4 formal functions to the HR in an effort to address immediate needs. These areas are a Chief HR Officer, 4 HR business partners located across each region, and 2 HR generalists for each region. The executive leadership team's goals are to address the immediate needs of the organization and have future HR organizational positions through the formation of these 4 formal functions. Also, after an analysis of an organizational evaluation from an outside consulting firm specializing in these difficulties, we will know what areas to further focus on for added improvement. The outside consultant's evaluation of the Bank of Shangri showed that the following areas of HR functions should be considered when addressing organizational needs: recruiting, staffing, job analysis, compensation and benefits, policy and compliance, talent development, performance management, diversity and inclusion, HR information systems such as HRIS and HR analytics, change management, shared services, continuous improvement, and organizational design. When thinking about the outside consultant's evaluation in the organizational chart, it clearly shows need for additional teams to address organizational needs in the areas addressed. The 4-function organizational chart is only set to work in cohabitation with management to a certain level, dependent upon the issues, and there isn't a position for specialty within the 4-function to handle such a level of organizational need. The 4 formal functions for HR is a good start, but to be efficient in their delivery of core HR services, these 4 formal functions need to follow the set of blueprints of how to function within their roles and have supplementary teams to address organizational needs addressed by the consultant's evaluation. Below is an example of how the 4 formal functions should work in relation to different roles, such as HR as a supplier, as a partner, and as an integrated part. The area of focus for immediate need of an HR team focus is in compensation and benefits. There are some excellent options to consider when looking to enhance compensation and benefits that are both monetary in cost and non-monetary. Both have a positive reaction in regards to employee satisfaction, turnover, and employee engagement. Some of the options for financially impacted compensation and benefit options are piece rate pay system, equitable salary, regular bonuses, profit sharing, time rates or hourly wage increases, commission, tuition reimbursement, performance-based pay structure, and enhanced leave packages. There are also non-monetary benefits to consider offering, such as job enrichment opportunities, job rotation or cross-training, flexible work schedules, mentoring, job enlargement opportunities, and employee recognition. If we keep going as we are without changing, we will continue to lose employees. And if we continue to practice unfair employment and pay practices, we will keep going down the same path of more lawsuits. The EEOC and Equal Pay Act determine if jobs are equal or not, and all forms of pay are covered under these laws. When we are practicing unfair pay and employment practices, employee morale and engagement go down. These are ultimately the highest motivators as to why people stay with a company, so we can't afford to sabotage ourselves. When we do, customer satisfaction declines. Employees who are left are stressed, confused, and fatigued. Productivity and profitability plunges, yielding lower returns for our stockholders and ultimately can result in closures of branches or at a minimum, a halt of expansion efforts. Current industry trends show that the use of internet is the most powerful tool to engage with millennials, both as employees and customers. Since millennials make up the workforce demand, it is important to know how to engage them and to market to them for their services. Unfortunately, millennials have a high turnover rate in positions as they are constantly seeking job satisfaction. This will delay strategic initiatives and growth when there is high turnover rate. It is important to find what drives a millennial to stay with a company and add some of that value to your business. As many of the baby boomers move towards retirement and millennials are moving into those positions, talent gaps are emerging and becoming larger. So cross-training and mentor programs are important to fill in those gaps. In the not-so-distant past, the banking industry had a financial collapse, and this has created a negative reputation that everyone must try to recover from. Having poor hiring and payment practices does not help this negative reputation, so it is important to work towards a positive cultural environment. Included in that positive cultural environment is the focus on diversity and inclusion, as this is an ever important topic of much discussion. So hiring practices and policies should account for this topic to stay competitive and also stay out of court. Millennials are also demanding more workplace flexibility as far as hours or telecommuting options. With office environments becoming more casual and less strict, the traditional expenses of suits, ties, and dresses are things that many employees and employers are steering away from. The competition is offering things such as programs to promote diversity at the executive level, pay at market or above. They're finding growth paths for their employees to rise within the company, talking to people to get real feedback at least once a quarter on how they can better the company or processes. They're offering small perks such as discounts to local establishments, initiatives to keep workers motivated and feeling rewarded, and offering competitive benefits packages with others in the market, and creating an open line of communication between employees and management to include coaching. They are also expressing expectations of their employees upfront and often, so there is no confusion on how to achieve within the company and become successful. The addition of a compensation and benefits team would be of great benefit to the Bank of Shangri. It would provide the following functions to the organization. It would perform an audit of the current compensation of all employees to ensure alignment to equal positions and legal policy was met, conduction of timely job evaluations to ensure accurate compensation is being applied to positions in accordance with the law, perform market evaluations of compensation and benefits packages of competitors to ensure we are competing equitably for top talent in the industry. The team would design and implement a structured compensation plan for each organizational position as the company continues to grow and evolve, and improve our current fringe benefits with additions of tuition reimbursement, mentoring, and a productivity-based bonus plan. Also, a new organizational culture would be introduced from the top down to re-energize the company and improve employee engagement. To ensure progress is being made and that we remain competitive, monitors will be put in place to be carefully watched by this team as well as executives. The metrics that will be used for monitoring progress are branch growth versus account growth. These two areas should be in sync at all times. If they become out of sync, realignment of the organizational structure must happen. Customer complaints per percentage of sales is another metrics that will be used. This percent should go down through the implementation of this team's plan and eventually level off at or below market average. Customer wait time should also improve as more qualified employees are hired and retained. Finally, the full-time employee vital statistics metrics should be monitored. Voluntary resignation of full-time employees should start trending down towards market average or below. Lawsuits filed by full-time employees should also head down the same trend line. An employee satisfaction survey should improve to at or above market average. If any of these areas do not show improvement or show misalignment, a change in strategy is warranted. These monitors will be a function of the new team. As with any change, there are always going to be challenges. Some of the challenges that will be faced with the addition of this team will be that current employees in supervisory roles will initially find it difficult to administer as they will need to partner with HR. Changing an organization's culture attitude takes time and requires everyone to be on board from the beginning. There can be some pushback from people set in their ways, and they require extra convincing of the benefits of the change. There can be hurt feelings when compensation aligns correctly, as employees may not immediately understand how someone got a $10,000 raise, but they didn't actually. And it needs to be framed that they are working the same role and that all pay is going to be based equitably upon the role. Also, The new recognition and rewards program that will be initiated will reward good production and behavior, but will also demonstrate who is not conforming to those standards. To reflect back, the current issues facing the Bank of Shangri-La are high employee turnover, employee pay inconsistency, and lawsuits due to hiring and staffing practices. To help combat this, the company has hired an experienced Chief Human Resource Officer and added regional HR positions to help address immediate organizational needs. They are now focusing on future organizational positions in HR to help combat these problems. With that being said, an HR compensation and benefits team should be added to restructure compensation, evaluate positions, conduct market evaluations, improve fringe benefits, create a new positive organizational culture, and monitor progress through matrices so backslides do not happen. This will address legal issues, employee turnover, customer satisfaction, and make the company's talent acquisitions more competitive. I have attached a list of references that were used to compile this information. Please feel free to read more on these topics using the links attached. Thank you for your time.